he would give Durant if he asked him about signing with the Knicks, and he didn't hold back. Barkley said, quote, "You ain't tough enough to play in New York. I don't think Durant or Kyrie are tough enough to play in New York. Kyrie's a very good player. Kevin's a great player, but I'm not sure they have the mental makeup to play in New York. Those guys are complaining about the media asking questions, but maybe New York isn't for them." We're joined once again by Michael Rappaport. Michael, do you agree with Barkley here?
I don't agree with Barkley in the long term. Now, I am frustrated with Kyrie complaining about the press.
Sure.
We didn't know you spoke to LeBron James. That was a private conversation. You chose to share
true.
that.
Right.
No one knew about that.
No.
I speak to you, I speak to you. No one knows about this. Okay, so you brought that on yourself. So when the media wants to talk to you, maybe we don't know who else have you spoken to. Have you spoken to KD? Did you speak to Rod Strickland? Who have you spoken to? That being said, we as New York Knicks fans, we've never had two champions. The last time we've had players play for the Knicks that had rings and things is the great Willis Reed and those guys. Amari Stoudemire, a very good player. We knew he had an injury. Inevitably, we in our hearts, we knew that just wasn't going to get it done. Carmelo Anthony, no rings and things. So these guys, they've played on the biggest stages. It's the mecca of basketball. It's the city's game. We know they can get it done on the court. And I think that although they have both been sensitive, particularly this year, the New York fans, we come out in droves. And there hasn't been a highlight out of New York this season. The biggest highlight was James Dolan ejecting and banning a fan. That's the highlight of the season.
That's true.
That's the only thing. We haven't, there's been no highlights. Is this guy, this little guy with the funny teeth, banning a fan who paid. That's the only highlight we have. So I think we have a 2-year grace period. I think that the New York and the New York media will be so happy.
So you're saying they would take it easy on them? Fans and media.
Well, the fans, we're going to just be happy. I mean, to see two guys out there putting up points and all that stuff, that we haven't had like excitement like that. And I think the media, they're going to do well if they both come, and they're going to do well. And I think it'll take at least 2 seasons before people start breaking their chops.
Okay.
Kyrie, I don't know what you're talking about you don't. He seems like he doesn't want to be talked to, win, lose, or draw. You got to figure that out. Durant will be fine. Kyrie, just like, whoever you're speaking to, don't bring it up, okay? But in the short term, 2 years, we'll be fine. We'll win more games. We'll improve. There'll be excitement. There'll be highlights other than James Dolan throwing out fans. So my answer, long-winded answer is, I think that we will be fine if we get those two guys. And I'm praying, please come to New York.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay, that's the fan perspective. Just so people know, you work for the New York Times and you covered the Knicks and the Nets. So you know what of you speak. You know you are inside the New York media covering basketball.
Yeah, and look, I do tend to agree that, especially with the fans, there will be I'd say a year or two grace period where, assuming, and they would, if Kyrie and KD go there, they would certainly be a really good team. They wouldn't be expecting championship or coming down on them if they didn't win a championship for at least a year and maybe 2, right?
Yes.
So it'd be 2 or 3 years before they really jumped on them. As far as the New York media, when I was the beat writer, that was early days of the internet. The internet wasn't what it was now. And the New York media was so different from media anywhere else. LA, Chicago, the only thing even close was Philadelphia. But New York media, with the sensationalism, with the back pages, it was aggressive, and players had a hard time dealing with it. Now, though, New York is still the top, but with the internet now, sensationalism has been brought all over the country, and even no matter where you're at, you're still catching heat.
You're in it.
It's all over. You catch heat no matter where you are. Maybe not quite to the extent of New York, but you do catch heat. Now, to answer Barkley's question, both of them obviously have rabbit ears. Both of them obviously are sensitive, and I would not recommend that either one of them go there by yourself.
No, for sure.
No, do not go, because you won't win big,
No.
and then you will catch heat.
Be on you, okay.
But I do think if they go together, or one of them went with Anthony Davis or whatever, if they go with 2 stars, they'll be fine. These 2 guys, Kyrie, let's look at him. Kyrie just did a big mea culpa piece with Yahoo, where he said, I was wrong for the way I've handled things. I apologize. We know he apologized to LeBron. Like, I got to be honest. I'm looking at Kyrie, and I'm thinking, this is a young guy. He's only 26. He's still learning. He's not above saying, I get it now. I didn't get it then. I think he kind of said, look, I don't like the way the media handles things, but I kind of get it. I understand it now. So I think he's open to learning. And I think if he gets to New York, he'll kind of be like, look, this kind of comes with the territory. I was wrong initially in Boston. I think he can adapt. And KD and Kyrie, look, they're sensitive. You can say what you want about them clapping back at people and complaining. The good thing, though, it doesn't impact their play.
Not at all.
Like, some players can't hear all this stuff and play at the top of their game.
Sure.
KD can hear it, be upset, go off on the media. He texts me sometimes if he doesn't like something I said, and we'll go back and forth. But it doesn't impact his game.
Not at all.
He still goes out there and balls. And the same with Kyrie. Through all the ups and downs this season, he has still been a great player, probably his best season individually. So even if they are in New York, and at times they go into a shell and they go off on the media at times, they still will bring it. And so I do think for all their issues, they can handle New York.
For one, actually, a couple times lately, I have agreed with Charles Barkley on this show, which is shocking.
It's been weird.
This time, he is completely wrong about this, and almost naively wrong. He is missing the boat on both these guys. To your point, I'm going to triple down on what you just said. In all my time of covering or closely observing superstars, the thinnest skinned superstar ever to me is Kevin Durant. And Kyrie's starting to threaten that. He's starting to challenge him. They are both social media victims to me because they read it and they respond to it and they let it go inside them. And it doesn't, not only does it not affect them, does it not hurt their play, it fuels their play. They both thrive on this. They would both thrive together. I agree with your together point in New York. They would constantly be at war with the media. There'd be nights they wouldn't talk. They'd clap back in big, group interviews. They'd be all over the media. They would fight the media. They would actually try to put the media back in its place.
But they're not good at it also. Neither one of them are good clappers.
They're not adapted.
They're just not, they're not good ranters. They don't talk good trash. Neither one of them
I have
are.
to help him out.
Yeah, but you know what I mean?
And Kevin Durant actually had burner accounts. It's like, what?
Yeah,
You're
who has
Kevin
time for that?
Durant.
Right.
But
Right.
you know who the media does love and who is good with the media? Coach Fizdale.
Yeah.
He handles
I
it
love
good.
him.
He's got a personality. He's fair. He's firm. He knows when to be tough. He'll rant when he needs to. So I think if they came to New York, they'll do their little things, but I don't think it's as big as impact as people say, because number one, it doesn't affect their play. And I think New York will get off on it. And the fans, to see that kind of craziness in the Garden every single night and what they do, and I mean craziness as far as their skills, there will be elation. There will be sincere elation. That's New York basketball. Like, they'll be adored and loved by the fans every single night. So what? They make some weird rants and comments. We'll take it.
Okay, what did Kevin? Kevin had the weight of the NBA world on his shoulders going into the first finals with Golden State against LeBron. And what did he do? The NBA was the world's waiting for him to fall on his face. He left Russell Westbrook and joined forces with Stephen Clay and Draymond. And what did he do? He won MVP, and then he backed it up by winning MVP again.
I'm not worried about it.
Come on, man.
I'm not worried about it.
Kyrie hit the shot of shots.
He's
Game
ridiculous.
7 at Oakland.
We deserve it. This is the city game. We need basketball. These guys are beautiful players.
You know what?
Come to New York, guys.
Those two guys get what it would mean to you for them to win a championship.
Oh, my God. Imagine we split it both of them on the Empire stapled and two. It would be gorgeous. Kevin Durant, thin shoulders, Empire stapled long and high. It would be just beautiful. Come to New York.
Like a banner.
Yeah, what are we
that
just-
would reach
what?
the top.
Oh, light him up. We'd be sad. Kyrie, I mean, he plays like a New York City street ball player. Like
His
all that
dad's
stuff.
from New York City.
Oh,
The Statue of Liberty would be like.
oh, the Statue of Liberty wouldn't
more
even be thinking
tears.
about Odell Beckham.
They haven't had a player as exciting as Kyrie in New York since Earl the Pearl. That type of game, that type of street game.
Does anybody remember Earl the Pearl?
Right, not
Anybody remember?
very
You
few of
should.
these young
You
kids.
should.
Oh man, it was Kyrie. I mean, he does
And he's
stuff that they
from
do
there,
in the.
from
I mean, it would be
suburban Jersey.
beautiful.
It was 1973.
Yes,
That's the last championship.
Yikes.
Rolls Royce
I know, Al.
backcourt.
We need this for you, Mike.
Oh
championship
please! And it's not just me.
huge.
The fans,
Yeah.
the fans in the cheap seats need it. They deserve it. We've been through too much. We got an owner who's throwing out fans during games, banning them.
Yes.
The same goons he sent after my guy Charles Barkley, he sent after a fan,
Oakley.
Charles Oakley.
Yeah,
Those
yeah,
same goons.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, there's one guy who needs those two worse. He's playing here in L.A.
Oh, then
You
there's
want,
that.
you want them in LA more than New York, don't you? Those
It
two.
would just be fun. It would be more fun for me, but I'm not a Knicks fan.
Skip.
Well, seriously.
And I think it would be fun if those two go to New York and AD gets traded to the Lakers.
Listen,
That'd be-
With you.
AD is
That'd be
not enough for LeBron at this stage of his career. It's not enough.
They
to
might
win
be
a
able to get Jimmy
championship.
Butler with him.
You know,
as a
the
third
only
guy.
thing you'd have going is that Kevin is no longer in the Bay Area.
That'd be good.
Right? Okay,
Okay,
that would
be
help.
open.
That changes
That would
it.
Yeah,
help.
well, LeBron, give him Kevin, give him AD. He needs like 17 people with him. He needs like he can't do it. He needs like 50. He's the greatest player in the world. He needs the entire All-Star roster with him.
Hey.
Klay Thompson, send down Steph. He needs it too.
LeBron took over a game in Chicago in,
Yeah,
in
great.
MJ's house last
He
night.
dominated
Yep.
last night.
Doing
I noticed
beautiful
you didn't
dunks.
put that on the
know if
top.
it's
Yeah,
worth
in
doing.
Chicago
He was
was
so
now
dominant.
19-50 for the year, right? 19 and
Something to
50.
really be
Hey,
proud of.
Really
big
proud
win
of.
The
last
Lakers,
night.
any win is good.
Honestly,
Yeah.
at
Any
least they
win
got
is a
one
good
at this
win.
point.
Yeah, they
Okay,
got one.
Michael, it's
Yeah.
good to have you with us always. Thank you for
Hang in
being
there.
here. Was Le'Veon Bell a big winner or big loser in free agency? We've got Reggie Bush.
Oh,
He's here
here we
next.
go.
He's going to help us answer that question.